of the Ashby here with us today. We just have a couple questions for you. First question is, what do you think of the two rural league teams combining, and how do you think they'll do throughout the season?
Well, I think we have a chance at winning the championship, and the Strikers will be pretty good too, so I don't know how good we'll be.
The Giants.
The Giants, my bad.
The Giants. I'm the other spokesperson. Who is your favorite to win the MNWA championship?
I think the Athletics or the Giants.
And why those two teams?
Well, the Giants won last year, and what was your team name last year?
Blaze.
The Blaze and the Blue Clouds combined, so I think that's why.
Final question. The Strikers were pursuing you hard. Why did you decide to sign with the A's instead of the reigning champions, the reigning champions, the Strikers, which will now be the Giants?
Well, I didn't go to the Giants. I went to the Athletics because they have 6 people, and it'd be a better defensive team, and I think that'd be a better team, and it's closer.
Okay, thanks, Hunter. You're with Riley Nelson of the Ashby A's. Riley, just a few questions for you today. How do you think the combining of the two rural league teams will have an effect on the league? How do you think how do you think they'll do this season success-wise?
Well, Devin, they both performed well. The Blaze made it to the championship, and the Blue Claws, they were close to beating the Strikers too last season. So I think that together we're going to do really good because we have more sub-ins, so if somebody's having a good game, they can just sit out for a couple innings, regain their strength, or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, I just think they're going to do good together.
Next question.
Who's your favorite to win this year's championship?
I'm going with the A's right here. I'm on their team, even though I'm not very good. But they got Hunter Fingston and Jay and Devin and Bryce Paulson, and I mean they got a lot of good people. So I'm feeling the A's.
And why do you pick the A's over the Strikers? What's the Strikers' difference from last year? Why shouldn't they win?
I actually think they're the Giants this year, but
Sorry.
they have good pitching, but in the tournament last year they weren't showing their pitching skills as much. They were a little off, I guess.
And Brandon tore his ACL.
So we have more arms, and now we're gonna have more defense, so we can spread it out more, and so that's gonna help a lot.
Thank you for the time, Riley. Hi, here with Jay Zimmerman of who recently signed with the Ashby A's. Just two or three quick questions for you, Jay. First of all, how do you think the A's will do this year after combining of the Blue Claws and the Blaze from last year? How do you think they'll do?
I think they'll do good because both of the teams last year that are combining did pretty well last year, and combining these teams could make them better.
I'm texting your girlfriend, Devin.
Okay, sounds good.
Oh, it smells. Jay, who is your favorite to win it all this year?
I think the A's have a pretty good chance, but the Giants could be close too.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you feel, next question, Jay, sorry, how do you feel about the Giants and still having just Zach and Jordan, not really getting a third or fourth player, with Brandon tearing his ACL and Eli Etzel hasn't proved anything yet? How do you feel that they'll do without those two, without that third player asset?
I think they could do pretty well because they still have that strong pitching team, and both of them can hit.
Okay, and who was your pick to win? Was it the A's or the Giants?
A's or the Giants.
What one? If you had to pick one at this point, who would it be?
A's.
Okay, thanks again, Jay.
Hey Devin, thanks for taking your time to answer a few questions for us over the phone. So, how do you feel about the teams combining in the rural league?
I think it'll be a really good thing. I think it'll definitely make the league more competitive. Having Jay and Devin and Bryce and Hunter all combined on a team with the role players like Eric and Riley, I think it'll be a good experience. It'll make everything a little bit more competitive throughout the league. So overall, I think it's a great thing.
Okay. Okay, next question. How do you feel about your players' comments during their press conferences?
My players all said the A's were the favorite to win the MNWA. I love that attitude. I think that having a positive attitude and a winning attitude before the season starts is a good thing. I just don't want things to get too out of hand and have people start thinking that we're being cocky. I don't think that any of my players were being cocky by what they said. I think they were just saying what they thought and having a positive attitude about the upcoming season.
Definitely. Next question. Who was your favorite team to win?
I still have to go with Buffalo. It's getting tougher and tougher calls as people keep signing, as people keep getting signed. Buffalo, they have Zach and Jordan, two proven players who are for sure good and will for sure perform. Eli is a question mark. Brandon is a question mark. And if it was just Zach or just Jordan on that team, they would definitely not be my favorite. But you put those two together, that's a great combination that will help Buffalo in the long run.
Definitely. Okay, who is the underdog that you think is not going to be very good but will come up in the end?
I would have to say that might be the Montrose Orioles. It may take them a while for them to get their act together at the beginning of the season with people's attendance and stuff. But I think by the end of the season, they'll be ready to play, and they'll come to the tournament ready to play, much like last year's Blaze, who were a low seed and ended up getting second place in the tournament.
For sure. Who do you think is the most unproven team?
I'd have to say the most unproven team is the Maple Grove Jays. Other than Trent Steffes, they are very unproven. Austin Steffes has had good years in a very small league where there's 5 players, and last year in the tournament he really didn't prove anything to me. He got a couple home runs, couple hits, had some okay pitching, but he never really proved himself that he was a true competitor in the MNWA. So I'd have to say Maple Grove, and they have 2 rookies. I think Trent is the only one who's proven himself with his 5 years experience. He's got wonderful pitching at times, wonderful hitting at times. I think without Trent, this team would be a dead last team. But with Trent there, I think they definitely have a chance to compete and possibly win the championship along with the A's and Buffalo and Montrose. I think all the teams are very competitive at this point.
Okay. Thanks for taking your time with us over the phone. Talk to you later.
Okay, bye.